Hi everyone, I hope that you're doing well. Welcome back to my channel and hello if you're new. My name is Charlotte. I am a channel. I live in USA. I am French and I channel messages from the divine. So please take what resonates with you. If that does not resonate, this message is not for you. Today I'm going to share some notes that I took. I had those notes for probably about a little bit. I've felt the need to share certain things, but I've been kind of like pushing it because those can be a bit of sensitive subjects, but there's important things to know, especially that with 2024 coming up, this is going to be a very important year. It's going to be a year of big transition. It's going to be a very, I almost want to say decisive year. As far as energy and everything else. So be really aware of certain things. I'm going to share certain things about how we are really manipulated in this world, in the material world. So we are more aware of what's going on around us. And we can better react about all of that and or just create from that point. That would be a better way to say it. And also about the energies. So I'm going to start with the energies because it's a little bit easier because the part on the material world is a lot more heavy. So as far as energies, there are a lot of shadow attacks in this moment. They are really worried because there's been a lot of high frequencies. There's been vibration level of the planet that really raised up. If you do some research, there is a lot of energy that came to the earth that they didn't even know where it came from, that really raised the vibration of the planet really, really high, and it's being measured like really scientifically. This is not just some woohoo talk. It's really backed up by science for people that likes that. So there's been like a really big jump, which can really shine the light on a lot of more of the darkness to be transmuted and to be alchemized into the light, into a more golden energy. So they're trying to really slow down your process. They're really trying to slow down your evolution by creating a lot of fear. By creating even a lot of anger on certain things. For people that are not very, I would say awake, very aware of certain things, like about energies, about parallel world, about spirituality or anything like that, they are very good targets. They're very, very good because they're kind of clueless about the energies and what's going on, so they're gonna infiltrate those people and really control their mind, control their thought, their feeling, their action, and the way they talk. So I've seen it around me. They do it on people that are like weaker. So that can be really kids, that can be young adults, that can be, of course, teenagers, because they can be in a very difficult rebellious state, so they can be very good target for that because energy attract energy. So if it's people that are already kind of depressed, kind of like in fear, kind of like sad or anger, those kind of lower vibrations, emotions, they are really good target because they basically attracted like a magnet and it just match. So it's just very easy for them to control people. Some people are totally manipulated like that. Again, it goes through their brain. They will have thought that's not them, but they're gonna think it's them and gonna speak a certain way, but it's really not them. They're being controlled by entities, dark entities. Some it's totally like possession. They don't even realize it. So just be aware of that. If you have certain difficulties around you going on, it doesn't necessarily mean they're being possessed. Like, come on, please. Like, be really, aware of things. But it can be that they are being manipulated by certain energy or even certain vortexes going on right now that are very, like, negative kind of vortexes. So be aware of that. I've seen people like that and they behave a certain way that's not them. I see energies, so I know what's going on, or they will say things that's not them because they're totally being manipulated. And then 2 or 3 days later, when it's finished and they themselves again, and you ask if they remember they said this or that or did this or that, they don't remember anything. Well, that's also a big clue, okay? It's because they were completely basically possessed, like completely hypnotized and manipulated by those dark entities. So that's a big one. Again, so don't stay in a state of fear, of anger. This is really how society manipulates people. Of course, with the news, with the media, that's a big one. Almost everybody knows that by now. But, other things too. Make your own research, find out what you think, what kind of organization are like that are controlling people through fear, controlling people through anger. Ask yourself those questions and be aware of that, so you regain your power, so you regain your own power. This is really the goal here, is to really be able to live a full life, full in our own power, and not being controlled by all those outside things, which would be very, very beneficial. So they're looking for your weaknesses, they're looking for any opening in your aura, in your energetic field, where they can really take advantage. So if you have anything like past trauma or things that you haven't really healed, it would be a good time to work on it, because that's kind of gives an open door, a gateway for this energy to manipulate you. So it'd be really good to work on yourself. Whatever speaks to you. For some people, it can be in different ways. But to really be stronger and to really heal yourself, so you don't have any past trauma or any openings that are not healed, that haven't been processed, and then you're not a target. Very simple. Yeah, so I share a video in French the other day in the community space, but there's a little bit of speech in there. So if you open the whole thing, there's the French part, but the English part is under it. And I explained that there are a lot of attacks right now, and that video, I do not have it in English, but it actually is basically talking about the vibration of the earth and how much it raised so far, and that actually there's been a lot of a slowdown, because there's been a lot of those shadow attacks, and they're really trying to slow down the awakening process of humanity, because the more people are going to raise their vibration, are going to be more awake, the less control they will have on people. It's very simple. So they're trying to slow down that process, so people stay zombies, they stay totally manipulated, and things like that. So way to control people, again, is to lower their vibration, lower their immune system, even through fear, through all those kind of things. And it lower your immune system, it lower your vibration, it puts your brain into survival mode, so you basically become stupid in a certain way, like because you don't have your analytical mind active anymore, and you just into a survival mode, like in a primal kind of state. So be aware of that. So all those are ways to really slow down that process. Okay, so also with television, so there's a lot of manipulation, like we said, with the media through fear, etc. I just talked about it. But they also use a lot of neuroscience, a lot of hypnosis, things to really manipulate your brain that you don't even realize it. Like they will have, for example, some kind of advertising, and then in the background there's things that are going on that your conscious mind, it doesn't even have time to see it. That can be images that go by so quickly, your eye doesn't see it. Necessarily, you're not aware of it, but your subconscious registers everything. Or it can be through music or words or things they're saying in the background that is also going into your subconscious mind that you're not hearing, because it can be at very, very low and very fast, and so you're not hearing it, but a part of your brain hears it, and that's a big way of manipulating societies. So be aware of that. And then, of course, another way they basically trying to kill people is through food. So try to eat as much as you can with, natural food, organic, things like that. Because it's clearly an easy way to poison people with all the cheap chemicals, toxic chemicals they put in there. Anything that's really like that, that's totally toxic, that give cancers. Then if you look into those different things they put in the food that are not natural, then you can see it gives brain problems, it gives cancers, it can give any kind of disease, kidney disease. I mean, it's really horrible. It's a total horror show. So be aware of what you're eating, but that also goes for shampoo, your soap, your cream, your lotion, your makeup. Look a little bit more into what is in there, those products, because a lot of it is super toxic. And when your aunt or person in your family or person die from something, oh, bad luck, blah blah blah. No, it's not. It's look back a little bit more into it, what's going on, what happened, like things like that. Of course, I'm not talking if they had an accident or things like that, but anything that is really like a sickness can be related to that. It can be also related to stuck emotions, stuck energy that crystallize in the body and create diseases, but I've talked about it in a previous video. Now we have a little bit more of the heavy stuff, and it's really saying how things are being affected also in the matrix, basically in this world, in this reality world, which is a total matrix, a total illusion world. So it's really be more conscious and stop being unconscious, where you're just being manipulated by the system and acting kind of like a zombie. So it's to stop normalizing what is not normal. And this is a big one, because it's like they putting kind of like the news, where it's always bringing fear and stuff like that. It's making it normal, like, oh, well, it's a news. No, it's not normal to be in constant fear. It really creates big disease on your body. Well, it's kind of like the same with, and this is heavy stuff, but this is really the manipulation with children and children trafficking and people that are being abusive to children, and that can be sexual, that can be through trafficking, that can be through making them slaves, selling organs, any kind of horrible things, also like abusive at work, like child slavery at work, stuff like that. That's really horrible. And of course that's not normal, but they're putting like child or young teenagers, for example, in magazines or sometimes on advertising in the street, with very like posture and dress code that is really nothing of their age, that is really bringing a lot of almost like pornographic style or positions, that is really basically pedophilia, because like child abuse, because it's like using it as, oh, it's just a model for this campaign or this whatever clothes store, and it's really not okay. It's removing really that beauty of the child, of that purity, by making them look like adults, and really not the nice kind of adults. Like, it's just very, very sad. So stop normalizing what's not normal. It's a lack of respect for children. It's a lack of respect for the feminine, feminine energy is a sacred feminine, and really incarnating that sacred woman, that sacred man, really in their full power, their beautiful power, and not distorted like that, okay? And I'm talking about things like that, pornography, and people that are very very like that. And then also like I saw lately some advertising, and you know, they're advertising drag queens, and I'm okay with drag queens, I don't have any problem with it, but a drag queen is a drag queen. It's not a woman, it's not a sacred feminine. And they're advertising in like it was like in the street and things like that, or even I've seen in magazine for women clothes, like as woman, for women clothes, like women are gonna want to buy that dress on that drag queen. And it's like, a woman is a woman, it's not a drag queen. Like, I'm not gonna go out dress up as a drag queen saying I'm a drag queen if I'm not. Just like a drag queen shouldn't be selling woman clothes in a woman magazine. This is my point of view, granted, but I do think that is a big distortion of the feminine energy and the sacred feminine. So that's also something that's really taking things away from that divine, natural, pure authenticity of the natural being. So yeah, so basically it's a big it's a big lack of authenticity. It's all about really it's a horror show. It really is. It's also lack of respect of anything that's really to, like I said, the sacred couple, the sacred sexuality, which is, if you look a bit into it, if you're in that state of awareness, is extremely powerful creative energy. It's very, very powerful. That's why they try to take it away in so many ways, and diminishing it and doing that distortion, and really this is really the dark side of, this is the other side of the coin. Yeah, and then kind of like to finish, we also need to be aware of, you know, the robots and artificial intelligence and things like that. Yes, it's very helpful. Yes, it can be very helpful, but we also need to really put our own intelligence, our own humanity first. It'd be a bit scary if people start really putting such a big importance on that, because this is really removing the respect of aliveness, of being human, of being alive, a live human, and not a robot, not artificial. This is also part of our divine power, our divine creation, and this can also be very distorted. So be aware of that, because that could really turn into a lack of that respect for people, for humanity, for even older people that are, you know, being replaced by robots and things like that. So it's really something to be aware of. And it's like everything, it's, you know, it's not the product, it's how it's being used, and what people believe in it and how they use it. But that's definitely something to be aware of, that our own humanity is extremely important. And then also something that I've noticed recently is a lack of respect of people and countries. And it's like people that are in a country and don't respect the country, people that are in a country from a foreign country, which I am, so I know what I'm talking about, okay, that don't even speak the language of the country and work in stores or places and don't even speak the language of the country. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. Like, it is a total joke. You know, I live in US. Obviously, I'm French, but I've learned English to be able to come here, to communicate here. I learned about the country. I learned about the whole history of the country, the presidents, the everything that involves in it. And then I see people in stores that are here and working and don't even speak English, and it's like it's a total it's a total unrespect of who you are around with and connecting to people and really being really respecting the country you are in. If you go somewhere, if you are moving somewhere, then you should be adapting to that country. You should be speaking that language. It's really like if the galactics come here on Earth and telling us to all humanity, you gotta speak our language. Well, you are coming here to Earth. They are speaking our language. They make sure we understand each other when they come here. Okay, maybe if we go to Venus or Neptune, then we'll learn to talk in Venus and Neptune languages. But this is not, you know, this will not be a problem. But for some reason, it's a problem on our own Earth because people don't adapt. So this is really a lack of respect of people and countries. But anyways, so be aware of any kind of manipulation that's going around. This is kind of like my take and what I've noticed, but definitely be aware and have your own opinion and your own take of what you see around you and the kind of manipulation and the things that are actually not aligned, that are distortion, because what's really distorted is not light, it's not aligned, and we're trying to realign things, okay? So I'm going to give you an example from what I share. But for example, for me, when I see the distortion with the drag queen in women's magazine selling women's clothes, it's like I want the real woman, the real sacred feminine example, okay? Not a distorted version of a woman. That's not even a woman. I want the real woman, okay? The feminine, the sacred woman. Like the robot things, it's like, okay, well, I want is a respect of humanity, a respect of people that are alive, of the life on Earth, okay? The intelligence of the human, okay? Not artificial intelligence, human intelligence, alive, okay? When I see things with pornography, well, what I want is sacred sexuality, the respect of the true sacred couple, the sacred sexuality, the creation of the sacred child, and things like that, okay? When I see lack of respect, they don't even speak the language, they don't respect the country they're in, they don't respect the people they're around. I want a respect of people, respect of countries, honoring the countries of each other and respecting each other, but not just trying to be like, oh yeah, just, you know, this is just, I'm in Germany and I'm going to speak in my French language all the time and people are going to have to adapt. No, I'm going to learn German if I go to Germany. It's very simple. Yeah, so it's really putting things back in place. Like we said, a lot of distortion, a lot of things that are being normalized or not normal, and it's really readjusting. Like we realign our energy, we recenter ourselves. It's also trying to recenter things in our life about what I want to see, what I'm sick of, what is not aligned, what is not light for me, what I want to see in this world, and makes this change. And why is this important? I hear people ask is because 2024 is going to be a big year. Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be really a big transition. It's going to be a very decisive year for a lot of people, and you cannot decide without being aware of what's going on around you. You cannot make fully, truly decision if you're not aware of things around you. Just like if you have a child and you're aware there's people in your neighborhood that steal children, you're gonna tell your child, be aware there are bad people trying to steal children. If they ask you to go in their car, you say no, you run. Okay, you're not just gonna be like, oh, I don't want to see, I don't want to hear. I'm just gonna act like everything is awesome and do my meditation and everything is great, and my child might be kidnapped, but it'll be divine because it's okay. No, it's not okay. All right, we have free will. The divine gave us free will because the divine is pure unconditional love. Okay, so there's no judgment, there's only our experiences. But we have free will on our experiences. Okay, and of course, there's the law of cause of effect. So what you do if you kill your neighbor, you're gonna pay for it one way or another. It's not God punishing you, it's the law of cause of effect. It's karma, it's the law of karma. What you do comes back to you, good or bad. It's very simple. So be aware of that, of what you want, of the direction you want to go, of what you choose. Be aware of what's going on in this world without losing too much energy on it, but you know what's going on, and then I redirect my energy. And when this crap, really that big crap that I just talked about, comes on my way, then I'm like, okay, this is not lined up. I put it aside, I realign myself, but I'm aware of it. Like that guy that's gonna try to kidnap my children, I'm aware of it, but I don't focus my attention on it. Okay, I'm aware of it, I acknowledge it, and then I let it go, and I do the best I can to go in the direction I want. This is really the big message. I hope this was able to come through a way that will empower you and a way that will help you move forward in a more alert state, a more aware state. This is really the goal of it. It's obviously because this really felt like sharing videos about realigning yourself and being in love and light, which is great, and which I do basically all the time on my videos that I channel. It's a lot of those messages. But at some point, there are people that are still unaware of things, that are still controlled by the system, that are controlled by, any kind of system, under fear, under anger, under those total manipulations, those horror show, like I said. And those people need to really be aware of things. So if you see people in your, around you, then make sure that you share those messages with them, not necessarily sharing the video if they're not, receptive, but at least talk about certain things, because it's best to be aware of things and then make your own decision and grow from there. But yes, there are a lot of shadow attacks right now, so be really aware. If you're a pillar of light, which I know there are a few on this channel, on this video, on the English video, you are targeted, but you are very protected too. And if you are at a certain level, you already have experience of that. Everything I've talked about, you already went through. All those difficult trap, those shadow attacks, those people that are being possessed around you, you already went through that. You're in such a state that it does not affect you, and it really doesn't change your vibration, which is what they're trying to do. And as a pillar of light, we need your high vibration. We need you to be anchored in your light and to shine that light for others that are actually being disturbed by those things around us. So this is very important. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Yeah, this is very important because they do everything basically for humanity to go down, and really this is not part of the divine plan. So be aware of that, and shine your light and play your part. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.